Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast, the show for wedding professionals and business owners.
Each month, we bring you top industry experts, business chat, and hints and tips to grow your business.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Roxy.
Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast.
Hello, bonjour. Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast. Thank you for being here.
Hi, hey. If you're just joining us, I'm Katie. She's Roxy, and together we make a podcast helping and inspiring wedding professionals into creating more successful businesses and more profitable businesses. How are you anyway?
Absolutely fine. I was just going to add to that. We are like your cheerleaders for your wedding business, aren't we? But yeah, I am absolutely fine. Nothing to report really. Like, don't know, feeling good, coming up to the weekend because we're doing a pre-rec on this, so it is. I'm like, what day is it? It's Thursday. Coming up to the weekend. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I mean, just before Christmas, we were both quite poorly, weren't we?
Seems so long ago that it's like a distant memory.
Yeah, we had that kind of flu rubbishy thing that kind of everybody had right before Christmas, and it took some getting over it really. So that meant obviously filtered over into the into the Christmas break, which then meant that wasn't as kind of relaxed as we'd normally want it to be.
It was on a break, was it? I think.
No, because we were both poorly at the same time, so we both were literally in bed, couldn't do a lot, and luckily our business is winding down at that time of the year anyway, so there wasn't a lot that we needed to do, but there were some things that we did need to do, so we kind of had to come back after Christmas. We had a few days after Christmas and then we had to come back early, didn't we?
Which I was glad to do, to be fair, because there's only so many days you can spend in bed and feeling poorly. Like, I hate it. I've got a big issue about being poorly. I really struggle to let myself just go, right, accept the illness and fighting against it. But you just have to, sometimes you just have to give in, don't you?
But I definitely feel that I'm now in the breakthrough after the flu. So like I hear this a lot, like your body's cleansing out like what it needs to cleanse out.
You're like, yo!
Ready for like breakthrough, new year, new focus and all of that. And I know that this is a pre-record, because newsflash, we don't always record straight on the day, do we?
I know. There's actually the stuff that has to be done after actually we record these live to get them to your ears, which is.
But in fairness, it's only going out next week, so we're kind of middle of the month, aren't we? Currently, and by the time you listen to this, which will be like the 24th-ish, and the time it goes out, we're still in kind of like new month energy, aren't we? New month.
Yeah.
And I definitely, that's where my mindset is at the minute. I know we're working on a lot for the business.
We are. Watch this space this year, honestly.
And I do think actually, without getting all woo, like that flu was like about getting all of that energy out.
Cleansed it away. Got rid of it all through that illness.
And we're back into it. So something really lovely that I popped in an email marketing email this morning over to our lovely people who are on our email list was the kind of realization that we are done with COVID weddings. So this is another thing that is all about, refresh, restart, refocus, is that kind of for the last 2 years we've either been kind of frantically rearranging weddings for kind of the 100th time, or we've been returning deposits, or we've been working essentially for money that we might have earned kind of 2 odd years ago. So it's felt really difficult. But this year, like the COVID weddings, I'd say the majority, like 99 if not 100% of them are done now, and we are new cohort of engaged people, back to kind of like 2019,
back to how it was, but in a new kind of way.
Yeah, so it's time like readjust, refocus, re-energize and go again, and kind of this is exciting. This is what
you could have said repeat. You could have just added that R in there. Re-energize.
We don't want to repeat. This is what I was saying to the in my email that I sent this morning, that was it's all about now, like you get to decide, you know, what wedding business do I want to be? And you get to decide that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're going to help you with some of that today. Today we're going to be talking all about knowing your niche. The word niche gets thrown around a lot.
Oh, it does. I was just going to say that. It's that word.
What does it mean? How do you establish your niche? How niche do you need to be?
Niche should the niche be?
Yeah, and why do you even need to have a niche? So we're gonna dive into that topic today, all with the basis that you'll leave this podcast feeling more confident and being able to think, yes, this is my niche. I can go after the clients that, you know, I know who I'm looking for now. I know who's going to be attracted to me, and I know the clients that I want to work with.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like it a lot. And also, you're also probably going to hear a little bit of like I don't know what's wrong with today. I keep singing songs. Like when I hear a word, I'm like, oh, remember that song that was like this? So I'm really
tiredness. We're both tired, aren't we? We've pulled like something like this.
Yeah. Something happens to us when the tiredness happens and we record a podcast. So who knows? But anyway, let's dive in to the niche. Shall we discuss firstly? And this is probably a word actually that I way back when would get a little bit confused about. Does it relate to me as a business owner and all of this? But of course it does, because in your business you need to be targeting your products, your services, your whatever at the type of people that you want to work with. So that is your niche, right?
So when you are a wedding business, it's really easy to think, and you know, we fell into this trap before ourselves as business owners, is thinking that you provide all things of whatever you do, whether you're a photographer or you're a bridal shop or you're a florist, that you can provide all the things to all the people getting married.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Like, weddings are huge important events in people's lives and really personal as well, and it's a huge responsibility, like when you're thinking about setting up a wedding business, to ensure that you find your niche, so that one, you avoid becoming that kind of business that spreads themselves too thin, offering services that you don't even like or can't deliver at a price point that you don't want to be at, but also so that you're able to kind of stand out from the crowd as well, like that your target audience feels heard, that they feel seen, that they feel connected with you, because weddings are such a personal time in couples' lives that they want businesses around them that they feel that they're connecting with on a level.
So not all things to all people. I think what I meant was maybe there's like a misunderstanding of like, is a niche important? Do I even need a niche? But I think the answer is yes, you do need a niche.
Yeah, let's stop with the brain fog this morning, Roxy. Like, no with the think. Yes, everybody listening needs to have a niche. We can't be all things to all people. Like, do you want to work with the £10 brides, the £200 brides, the £2,000 brides, the £2 million brides? Like, you know, I supply wedding dresses. What kind of wedding dresses do you supply? Do you supply wedding dresses to a particular type of bride? It's a really common mistake to think that you can be all things to all people. You can cater to all couples, but having a niche is a great way to stand out from your competitors, and it builds like a good reputation and credibility in your niche as well. So if you're a more specialized business, so for example, if you only stock dresses from a certain designer, or you are a florist that only works on a particular style of wedding, then there is less direct competition, which is really important because we're in a very crowded wedding industry market, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, yeah. So what I think is a nice little exercise for anyone to do that is listening, who thinks, okay, I'm not too sure what my niche is. Have a little sit, have a little think about what services and products do you provide to which certain kind of type of couple that are getting married, whether it's like eco bride, do you cater for the more vintage? Have a little sit and write and brainstorm down a couple of words that will kind of make you see your niche that you are serving.
I think a really good place to start is like, quite often we start our businesses because we're interested in a particular thing, or we might have a particular skill or a particular creativity. So have this is not just about, you know, I serve brides that want this. It's a much bigger kind of scope than that. So you want to kind of draw in your own personal story, your background, anything that makes you stand out from the crowd, what your kind of assets are, if you like. Because people are looking, especially now we're all very marketing savvy, are looking for kind of authentic and relatable businesses that they can connect to. So being yourself in your business and then transferring that into your marketing and your messaging, which is why it's so important to have a niche, is going to help you attract that niche audience that resonates to everything that you're saying.
I think, as you touched on before, you know, knowing your niche, it can set you up as that go-to person, that authority in the field. And, you know, being that person is going to get you more visibility, because you will be asked to write blogs or like a guest blog or guest star on a podcast and things like that. So it can really, really help your business get more visible.
Yeah, for sure. So like in it, as part of your niche, you're wanting to cross that over into your marketing as well. And when you're kind of using those elements of your experience, let's say, or, you know, the awards that you might have won or anything like that, and you're transferring that into your business brand story, it makes your business sound more human, and makes like anybody that comes across your like your website, your social media, your Instagram page, your Pinterest, makes them feel like they know your wedding business for more than just what you offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So like in your business brand story, you want to be thinking about like your personal values, your beliefs, what your wedding business is all about and what it stands for. And then this is going to help couples to decide whether you are a business that they want to invest in, both like financially with their money and trust that, you know, they're going to get the service and product at the standard that they expect, but also emotionally as well. And quite a lot of the kind of financial and emotional does kind of gel together quite easy. One like easy step to kind of try and hone your niche and define kind of what's unique, because this is all it is. Niche is just another word for saying like what's unique about your personal business brand or your business in the wedding industry, is to look at your value proposition. So to look at like the value that you are offering from your business to your clients, and essentially all that boils down to, so that we don't get too marketing speaky for everybody, is why would your customer choose you over another florist or another stationer or another celebrant, or another wedding planner, another business that offers that same service?
And I think another thing that you can do is, you know, you can look at what your clients' problems are, what are their needs, and are you going to be meeting their needs? I think that's really an important one to look at. Like what problem are you solving? Yeah,
and I think this is one that people in the wedding industry really struggle to kind of get their head around, because I think because there is this conception that the wedding industry is, you know, a really nice industry to work in, and it's all fluffy and prettiness and you know, wonderfulness and flowers and cake, and it's all just fluffy and pretty. The word pain doesn't really like sit with that. It's like almost a juxtaposition. So saving the planet or anything like that, but your clients still have pain points and your clients still have problems. And, you know, I know a lot of clients that we've worked in the past, when we've started to kind of look at their business and we've started to coach them, haven't really considered whether the services that they offer is even something that their clients want.
That's very common, yeah.
And it's good to kind of sit back, and a lot of people may have had a personal experience that leads to this. So they may have had a personal experience that then leads to them opening their business, and that was very true to me and why I started my business. I had a personal experience. I spotted a problem. I couldn't find the solution. So I thought, right, I'm going to set that up. And there will be a lot of people that have kind of spotted a gap in the market or or they know that it's an issue out there that's not quite being solved in the way that they know that they can do it. But even pain points could be, you know, anything from, you know, supplying things at a price point, or you're more sustainable, or you come on, help me out, Roxy.
Or you know, maybe you just work with couples that haven't got a lot of time, so you solve that problem for them by like doing everything, and they literally don't need to do anything. That's kind of a problem that, yeah. I say really about the word problem. It's not an almost problem, is it? It's a solution to something that they are looking to get solved. So whether it's I'm struggling too now.
I mean, the pain point would be, wouldn't it, that they wanted a beautifully dressed wedding, but they don't want to stress of setting that up on the day. Yeah. Or they want a planner to be able to deal with all the vendor relationships. Or, you know, a pain point might just be, I'm looking for a venue to get married that has a, you know, the ability to have a church ceremony and then the reception at the same place or within 5 minutes of each other, whatever it is. Like, it's about you identifying your customers' problems and needs, and then looking at those pain points of your potential customers and thinking, right, does my product or service solve this pain point? And then the next step on that would be, then are you communicating that within your marketing? So are you communicating that in your business, with your brand, etc.
Yeah. I think the thing with the niches as well is it's going to be something actually, and again, it's like you say, it's that word niche, but it's just something that makes you unique, and that's going to come from the heart anyway, because these are going to be the reasons why you started your business in the first place. Like you were saying, you know, your values, which then tie into the kind of clients you want to work with, and again, you know, we talk about this quite a lot, but it does come down to kind of your ideal client. So if you are struggling with what those pain points might look like for your client, maybe just go back to your ideal client, or even
I've got a really good way to do this. Just come to me. I think the easiest way to do this would be to kind of ask yourself the question: if I stopped offering my wedding business services tomorrow, or I stopped creating the products that I create tomorrow, what would your clients and your audience miss the most about working with you? And that's your pain point.
Love it. Yes.
Why did that not come to me 5 minutes ago?
Light bulb. These things come organically after a convo.
So that question really gets to the root of what makes your business unique, and then also what your customers, what those pain points are, what are they valuing about your business. And then what you want to do is make sure that your answers to these questions are reflected in your website, on your branding, on your social media, and in the voice that you use when you're connecting with your target audience.
And that's going to come from making sure that you're using the right kind of copy and those kind of things, and getting those kind of keywords that are going to make those clients go, oh, this is my kind of business that I want to give money to. Because like said, it is an emotional thing as well as a financial thing.
100%. And I think this is the part where, you know, as you get more experience in business, and it's just something that we naturally do over time, but because kind of we've been in this funny period, and we talked about this at the beginning of the podcast, where we've been almost working the weddings that we booked a really long time ago, so we haven't really had, you know, that new fresh kind of cohort of couples that are now, yes, we've had a few in the middle, but we've done a lot of like COVID rearranging, etc. And now's the time to kind of really think, okay, is my pricing, is this the niche I want to be in, is everything kind of where I want to be in my business, and to be asking yourself, is your niche offering, is what you're offering suitable for your chosen market? Like, so that then you can kind of further refine that and kind of change your offer slightly, or have a little look at your audience, you know, what are the things that matter to your audience?
Because it might be that over the last couple of years, things have shifted in your business. So it might not be like, your niche might not be as aligned now as what it was previously. So it's a really good time to be kind of exploring this a little bit more.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, like, it's what does your niche say about you? And to just decide whether you feel comfortable with that and that feels right as we're kind of we're coming to the end of kind of month 1 of the year, but every day's a new day, every moment's a new moment that we can decide. You can decide which direction you're going in. You can stop, pause, reflect anytime you want. But it's really important that when you find your niche, that you're not afraid to stand by it. So if you're going to decide that you're only going to work with couples that are looking for eco-friendly, sustainable solutions to their wedding, and that you're not going to take on anybody else that doesn't fit inside that bracket, that's okay. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. Like, they feel like they're almost letting people down because they don't want to work with those kinds of people, or if they do work with them, they don't necessarily want to shout about it on their social media. But yes, it's true that you'll lose a portion of your audience to other broader brands who aren't so niche, but in all honesty, they're probably going to get less of a service than they'd get with you. If you're quite niche, that's what you're going to focus on, that's what you're going to have that expertise in, that's what you're going to be known for. You're going to be known for the best in the business at your niche. And then when you find those kinds of clients, they tend to value you more anyway. So yeah, are you comfortable with your niche? Like, have a think about that. Now, I would encourage you listening to just have a think about if where you're sitting in the market is where you want to be.
Just acknowledge those kind of thoughts, feelings, whatever comes up. Sorry, just acknowledge. Sit and think, how is this feeling to me, and then explore that a little bit more, and just have a little open conversation with yourself. I kind of like doing that at the minute. I'm like, okay, does this feel right? Yes, no, fine. Like a little flow chart. Just make a little flow chart in your mind and then explore each avenue.
Absolutely. So kind of when you're establishing your wedding business, or you're having to think about this, or maybe you're thinking about transitioning into kind of new kind of niches, the possibilities are endless. And it could be that you want to specialize in providing for cost-conscious couples, same-sex civil unions, people who are getting married for the second or third time, perhaps, marquee weddings, celebrity weddings, honeymoon help. Gosh, we could go on. Destination weddings, ethnic weddings, all-inclusive wedding planning. I don't know. But once you start to identify with what niche markets you want to be interested in specializing in, you will definitely find that the list is endless. And it's actually not as niche. Do you know, I was trying to think of a better word there. It's not as limiting as perhaps you think. I think that's where a lot of the thoughts that I had around wanting to cater for everybody was a fear of kind of limiting my business off, and that was almost making my business smaller and making my client pool smaller, and that isn't the case at all. And even if you think, gosh, how many people that want to get, there are millions and millions of people out there that are planning cost conscious weddings, and there's millions of people out there that are planning ethnic weddings, and there's millions of people out there who are planning marquee weddings. So then it's about niching a little bit further as well. But you'll definitely find that it's not as scary as you think, and you're not making your business smaller at all.
And I think by doing that, and then the way you were just speaking then, I had like a visualization in my head is the more niche down you are, that pool just gets smaller, but then you are a bigger fish.
Absolutely. We've used this before on some of our marketing. Yeah. You're a bigger fish in that. And those people are really serious about your offer and really serious about the way you run your business or whatever niche it is that you're in. So they're more likely to book and buy if you're getting your messaging right, which is why we need to start all the way beginning at your niche, knowing your niche. That's why this podcast is called Know Your Niche.
I want to get a t-shirt that says Know Your Niche. I'm gonna get one.
Are you actually? Right.
Yeah.
We want to see this. We want to see this in the group. But I
want to make the word niche. I'm going to expose it to everybody. Like, tell me your niche. Everywhere I go, I'm like, what's your niche?
What's your niche? Hashtag. But we know that this industry is quite saturated. We know that the wedding industry is a really broad, industry to be in, and quite often we're offering similar services to the clients via the duties that we're going to perform, or the resources that we're going to give to our clients, or the products or the services are usually the same or quite similar, aren't they? Like most wedding planners are really organized people who pay great attention to detail and have a really good eye for what works together. So you almost need to take that a little bit further. Do you have a specific set skill that goes beyond just being organized? Like, and this is what we said before about thinking about your background, thinking about what makes you unique, what are your interests, what are your hobbies, and what unique skills you could bring to like the wedding table, if you like.
Why are you unique? I think that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you start to focus on your ideal client or wedding type, you become like the expert, exactly what you were saying. So once you've kind of picked your niche, where do you need to get it?
Get your niche out.
You're so bad today. You need to be promoting it on your website, on your social media. You need to showcase why you are the expert for these types of weddings and the benefits of your particular wedding services in your area. And what's really great about knowing your niche is that this really plays into kind of those keywords, those Google, SEO. SEO is not just for Google anymore, it's flipping everywhere. So it's over on social media as well. Instagram relies heavily on SEO now as well.
Yeah, we covered this a little bit in previous, didn't we?
Yeah, we've covered this on the last episode, the episode before the last one, all about, you know, why SEO is going to be such a big thing in social media at the minute. But once you've picked your niche, that really cuts a lot of that traffic and that noise out and gets you higher up Google as well. So same for Pinterest as well.
Everywhere. SEO is everywhere. So what I would recommend doing for that is kind of, as I said before, just think about the words, you know, those key words that makes you unique, that makes you the niche that in the niche that you are. Write them down, have them to hand, keep them in a document, so that then, you know, when it comes to updating stuff, you've got your stuff, you know, you've got your words, you've got your important keywords there ready to go. And it needs to be weaved in every bit of everything that you do, because this is you.
Yeah,
it's you unique.
The other thing to kind of think about doing as well is just checking out your competitors as well. So like if you're thinking of either starting a wedding business from scratch, or you are thinking about niching down or niching down further, this is a process that we do all the time, by the way. We are going to be going even more niche into our business at the moment. It's important to keep an eye on the business competition and to find a different way to set yourself apart from others in the field that you do as well. But, you know, a really great way to do this is by having a strong brand. So, you know, you want to be able to define what makes you and your business unique. Sometimes the best way to find that is to find out how you stand out, is to look at what your competitors are doing and what they are offering and what they are missing. So that you can then use this to an advantage and make it a major selling point in your marketing materials throughout your website, so that you can cater to that bride, groom couple who are not getting that elsewhere.
I know we said we're like back to 100% health, but I've still got a bit of a cough, not gonna lie. And you as well.
So if you're sat here thinking, oh, you know, I'm really struggling with this, don't worry. It's not always easy to specialize in a particular area of the wedding industry. It takes, you know, confidence, understanding and knowledge of what's out there in the wedding marketplace already. It takes understanding to know what gaps are there. If you need any help or assistance with this at all, we obviously offer assistance and, you know, lots and lots of courses that you can go and check out. But what would probably be best for this, we can just have a chat and we can help you explore what niche market would work best for you and what value proposition you can bring. We find that a lot of wedding business clients are afraid of having a niche because they think that they can't ever work with other clients, and that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
Like we've had past clients who have a niche in working with marquee weddings. However, she still works with clients who, you know, get married in venues as well. So what we do with that is we talk about tailoring your marketing so it speaks to people looking for those marquee weddings, because she's the marquee wedding specialist, but also we pop in there things about her working with other couples who decide against having a marquee wedding as a venue as well. Finding your niche is only the first piece of the puzzle. You know, it's all about eliminating the couples that aren't applicable to you now, and you know, and what you offer, so that you can hone in on your target audience much quicker. So if you feel that your business isn't really representing you, that there's not quite a natural fit there with who you are representing as who you represent as a person or as your business, or you're feeling you're attracting the wrong kind of couples, you know, we can help you with this. Basically, you know, we'll pop the details into the show notes, that if you wanted to have a chat with us, we can help you work it out and really break it down. We've covered a lot today in today's podcast, but we can really break it down even further and leave the session confident on the niche and on what you, and with a plan of how you're going to then focus on those couples.
And there's nothing more valuable than having others cast their eyes over kind of.
No, like we love it. We get coached all the time weekly. We love it. We've had, actually, before we come on this morning, we've had a good coaching call, haven't we?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so
firing questions at us. I really enjoyed it though, like, because it makes you question things. It makes you like sit up sometimes and think, oh, why do I do it like that? Or why is that like that? But sometimes, well, quite often you can't see the wood for the trees when you're working in and on your business all of the time. It's impossible.
And it's very quickly, it's very, very easy to take on like a couple of weddings that you didn't really want to do, and then that becomes more of your business. And I know a lot of people will relate to that, because we've even taken on work that we haven't particularly wanted to do just to get us through the past couple of years. But you know, hello, we're back. The industry is back. The industry is booming again. We're back into a new engagement season. So these are the things that we want to be getting right. And it's the opportunity really for you as business owners to just is do I know my niche?
What's your niche?
We're going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been really lovely to catch up, and we'll see you on the next episode, guys.
Bye. I promise to be better next time. Bye.